Hey everyone, it's the Detective, and today I'm going to be doing something that I've never really done before. I'm actually going to be covering a leak. And the reason I'm going to be covering it is because this leak was directly from the Bakugan website. Either the system glitched, or some files were input that they weren't supposed to be there, or some intern or some person who was working on the website just made a big mistake and posted the wrong image. But we now have pictures of the next Geogan Rising checklist, and there are a ton of new Bakugan that we can see. You can see right here, I'm just showing direct screenshots of it, but I'm going to go in nice in-depth and just highlight the new designs that we've seen. Of course, there are some new Bakugan that we're seeing with new factions being confirmed for them. However, the checklist has notoriously not been too accurate in the past, as it's based more on the concepts rather than what Bakugan actually got released. So if you see a certain Bakugan here in a certain faction, just take it with a grain of salt unless it already exists. Nonetheless, I'm really excited to go in here. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin taking a look at these new Bakugan, because some of them are really fantastic looking. So first up, we have Ninjaton. And based on his name, I'm going to assume that he's kind of a robot ninja. Of course, all of the Bakugan from the reboot, or at least most of them, have still looked somewhat robotic. But when you look at this design, he kind of looks like he has a robot kind of appearance to him. He's got all these cool little details kind of etched in. You can see by that green paint that's applied next to his head. Kind of looks like laser shooters or something. He's really buff as well. And I can kind of make out that he has a little bit of an eye right there. Kind of like Kloptor, but at the same time, I don't want to jump to conclusions about that. He looks really fantastic though, and I'm really excited for when this guy releases. According to the checklist, he will come in Darkest, Chaos, Aquos, and Aurelus, but again, this is always subject to change in the future. So next up we have what is probably my favorite of all of the new reveals. This is Auratoa, and you'll notice that he looks a lot like Tailene from the Legacy series. You know, Tailene was actually a ninja kind of Bakugan. This one doesn't look like he's going to be like that. Also the name, any Bionicle fans here, Auratoa. I don't know, it's purely a coincidence, but it looks really cool. Overall, he does kind of have that robotic look. You can see he will be coming in Diamond, Aurelus, as you can see in the picture, Darkest, and Aquos. But again, these are all subject to change. Just keep that in mind. This is just according to what the checklist says. It looks like a really great design, though, based on this one image, and I'm really excited to get it in the coming months. So next up, we have Jetra, and I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea what this is supposed to be. However, I will say this. It's got J, it's got E, and it's got two T's. I really think that this might be the Bakugan that Jet Kuso got to name. And if that's the case, that's really freaking cool. Now, he might just be a bug. It might be like a bird. I have absolutely no idea what it's supposed to be. This image is really low quality. I can't really tell if it's supposed to have a head. Nonetheless, it's got Darkest, Ventus, Aquos, and Pyrus. So next up, we have Vlock, Vlock, Velush. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this. Again, these are just preliminary images that were potentially leaked by someone working on the website, and this looks really cool. Like, I absolutely love this design. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Again, it could be like some type of bug, kind of like Jetra. It could be something else, like a spider. I have no idea. But I think that it could potentially be like a Loch Ness monster sort of thing, because it has the VI, which is like evil or vile, and then LOCH, so it could be like Loch Ness Monster. I have no idea. Maybe it's supposed to be kind of like an aquatic creature, but it looks really cool. And it actually comes in all the factions too, which is really nice as well. So next up we have BEHEMOS, and this is easily my favorite, not including Auratoa. This is probably like my second favorite, or tied as my favorite from the reveals that we've seen here. He just looks really cool. You know, BEHEMOS, he's clearly a behemoth, and I don't know if this is a core or an ultra or what, but it looks really cool. He's got like multiple wings, he's got arms, this really cool head with this big orange horn on the top, but it looks really nice, and I'm very excited to be getting this guy, hopefully again, just in the coming months when these start to roll out on shelves. It's time for some Geogan, and we're starting off strong with Amphroג, and holy moly, this thing looks like, it looks adorable, but it also looks really menacing. Of course, it's a frog Bakugan. It's got it in the name, you know, amphibious frog, Amphroג. So cool. As you can see, Darkest, Chaos, Ventus, Pyrus. I kind of hope it comes in Aquos because it's a frog, but Ventus will definitely be very nice. And it looks fantastic. I absolutely love the way that it looks. It kind of looks like it's going to be like a rectangular prism when it's all folded up, which is pretty cool. I don't know if we have any rectangular prisms out right now. I think that maybe Titan King might be kind of a rectangular prism, but we'll have to see it. But overall, it looks really great, and I cannot wait for this one to come out. But we do have a couple of other Geogan that also got revealed. Alright, so this is definitely my favorite Geogan that we got revealed. This is Ghostbeast, and really crazy name. Looking really closely at the design, I think he's supposed to be like a minotaur sort of thing. If you look closely, you can kind of see those two little yellow bits kind of at the top by his wings, and those kind of look like horns to me. Again, might be on a stretch here, I might be seeing things, but it kind of looks like it has a cow-looking face to me, or like a bull face, so that's why I think that it might be like a minotaur with wings. But either way, Ghostbeast is a really cool name, and it looks really cool as well. Again, I wish that these were better quality. As you can see, he comes in Ventus, Darkus, and Aquos, and I'm definitely very excited to pick this guy up. The Geogan so far are looking fantastic, and this isn't even all of them. So next up we have Insectra, and this looks straight up like Falconfly. I absolutely love it. You guys probably know by now, I really love big Bakugan, and I also love kind of weird looking Bakugan, and this is a Geogan, but it really checks both of those boxes. It's really long, thin, spindly, a lot like the original Falconfly, and it looks fantastic. Not exactly sure why it's got some white plastic on it. I'm starting to think that maybe this is a render for a diamond version. However, the checklist itself only lists Pyrus, Aquos, and Ventus, so I don't know what this could be, but I'm very excited to find out. So next up, we have a very exciting one, Skyhorse. And if you look closely, this is a Seahorse Bakugan. This is a Seahorse Bakugan. It probably is just a seahorse with actual wings, and that's why it's called Skyhorse, because it's a seahorse that flies in the air. And it's such a great design. I don't know what kind of, don't know what this is supposed to be. It is a Geogan, so it's not like an Ultra. It might kind of be like an egg-shaped Geogan, kind of like Mutasect, but it looks really, really fantastic. You can definitely see the seahorse head. You can see the kind of wings. You can see the seahorse tail. Looks really cool. Very excited for this one to release. Alright, so next up we have Serpilius. Yeah, I'm just trying not to laugh just looking at this, because it has a name which looks like Serpentes plus Nilius combined, but the Bakugan itself kind of looks like Phaedrus. I'm not gonna lie, the Bakugan itself looks stupidly cool. It looks really cool. It kind of looks like the Phaedrus Ultra that we never really got, because we did get a Phaedrus Ultra, but the design itself didn't look too much like the Phaedrus Core. So this looks really cool. Again, it's not Phaedrus, it's not Serpentes, it's not Nilius, it's Serpilius. But honestly, this is definitely one of the better looking ones, and I think it's also one of the only Ultra Bakugan that we got revealed to us. The majority of the other ones that I took a look at before were Core Bakugan, so it's honestly very cool to see something like this. So next up, we have Torrenoid, and similarly to how Serpilius kind of looked like Phaedrus Ultra, Torrenoid kind of looks like Trino Ultra, actually. And what's interesting about this is that Geogan Rising was actually in development during the 2018 Invitational, which basically means that all of the community feedback that we gave to Ventus Knight, since that was when he joined the Discord, like early 2019 or maybe even late 2018. He joined a bunch of the Bakugan Discords. He did videos on YouTube, of course. He still does. But all of the community feedback that we gave to Ventus Knight in 2019 was basically absorbed and put into Geogan Rising, which is really cool, because I feel like maybe one of the reasons why we got a Bakugan which looks kind of like Phaedrus, you know, Serpilius, is because Phaedrus Ultra, a lot of people were complaining that it didn't look good. Now, I personally liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. And I feel like what's really cool about this is that now the things that we suggested to Bakugan, to Ventus Knight, to Spin Master a couple years ago, we are going to see some of that in Geogan Rising. I know a lot of people didn't like Trino Ultra on release, so here we go. Here's Torrenoid. He kind of looks like Trino Ultra. And speaking of which, the color scheme is really cool. It kind of looks like a fusion. It's got like black, red, orange, and green. So very, very cool. As you can see, he comes in Aurelius, Darkus, and Pyrus. Next up, we have Apophix, or maybe it's Apophix, whatever. I'll be saying Apophix, and this looks really cool. This is a really, really tall Bakugan. It definitely has that Cobra motif, like water snake, really awesome. And if you actually look at the card, the Crystal Blue Bakugan Brawler card, it was actually included in the Sharktar Ultra starter deck. And I actually got that starter deck from Spin Master as part of the invitational package, and I made a comment in that video saying, like, is this Fangzor? Like, why would they be using Fangzor in a card from Geogan Rising? But hey, I guess it's Apophix, or Apophix, whatever it is. And it looks really cool. It's a really, really tall Bakugan, as you can see. He will be coming in diamond form according to the checklist, so that would be very cool to see. But overall, very exciting. And this is actually the last Bakugan, the last new design at least, that we'll be taking a look at. So overall, really cool design here. So guys, that's basically it for all the Bakugan that we got revealed on this new checklist. Now, again, this may have been a leak, it may have been purposeful to put it on the website, it may have not been purposeful, leaning towards not purposeful, because we probably would have seen them pop up in the Bakugan app by now, as opposed to just the website. But either way, it's super cool to see these Bakugan and, you know, see what factions they might come in. Either way, though, some of these designs are absolutely fantastic, like Amphroג, Serpilius. The name is hilarious, but I'm very excited for the design. Auratoa and BEHEMOS, especially. Those four, really excited for those. Ghostbeast as well, really, really awesome. Overall, very excited. Please leave a comment down below your thoughts on these new Bakugan, because honestly, they look fantastic in my opinion, and I just cannot wait to get them. It's really cool because the input that we gave to Bakugan from a couple years ago is potentially being used. You know, we're seeing a lot of older designs or older concepts kind of return, and they just look better and better. And honestly, I'm so excited for this Bakugan. I'm so excited for Geogan Rising. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm the Detective, and I will see you in the next video.